Hello, and thank you for choosing to learn about everything new that is happening at Oxford University Press right now. My name is Kathy Carlisle Fountain, and I'm the Head of Business Development in the Americas region for Oxford. Before we start, I just want to say how excited we are to be able to meet you in person on Saturday to answer any questions you may have, learn more about your libraries and your needs, and get to know you. Oxford has long wanted to join you for the HLA conference, and we are so happy to bring that to fruition this year. Thank you for having us, and we look forward to seeing you in person on Saturday. And with that, let me start walking you through some key information from us. Rosalina Moxley and I will be Oxford's ambassadors to the Hawaiʻi Library Association Conference this year. Rosalina is Oxford's sales representative for all of the Hawaiian academic libraries, and she is your contact for questions about products and information about pricing. She can help point you to the right people to solve any issues you are having, and she is so helpful in working with librarians to make sure you have the information you need to make decisions in your library. I am the head of business development, and in addition to some internal activities, I serve the Americas region in a library relations role. So I'm always interested to hear your questions, concerns, and priorities, and more so that I can take it back to Oxford and feed it into our planning and our decision making. All right, I'm going to turn to some product highlights, and then we'll turn to some new initiatives. Let me start first with our Oxford bibliographies. They can save researchers time by pointing them to specific and important scholarship in research topic areas. Our portfolio already includes 42 subjects such as anthropology, environmental science, and geography. And we're pleased to have launched 3 new bibliographies this year: the history of medicine, food studies, and environmental history. Food Studies complements our Food Studies Oxford Research Encyclopedia. Students can start in Oxford Research Encyclopedias to understand a big topic. Say they can look up corn in the Food Studies Oxford Research Encyclopedias, and they can learn about an introduction to indigenous foodways, for example, and then they can turn to Oxford bibliographies, which will give them recommendations for reading in specific particular articles and books that address indigenous foodways without having to turn first to a journals database and be overwhelmed by the results. The history of medicine and environmental history are new subjects for us across our products. We're very excited to highlight these areas of study, providing a thematic approach to our history bibliographies rather than by region or historical period. They will also allow scholars to approach history across time and across geography to survey the field, find scholarship, and support their own research. Oxford Intersections is a brand new offer from Oxford. Kind of like an enormous edited book collection and kind of like a journal, this new resource provides original research on important and challenging topics with a 360-degree disciplinary view. As you can see, our topics in this purple box, including several that are already available for purchase and those that are soon to launch. Our latest topic to launch is Borders, which will release this month. The general editors are Alexander Diner from the University of Kansas and Joshua Hagan from the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Let me read you this description of our Borders topic in order to give you a sense of our approach generally for Oxford Intersections. Borders are specific sites, but they're not static, being constantly enacted and reproduced. They often have a physical presence, but their significance stretches far beyond any geographical locale and into the social, political, and cultural lives of those both near and far from the border itself. This intersection will focus not only on the borders as interstitial spaces, but on the ways that a bordered world has its effects, with particular attention to systems, relationships, and practices that span borders. As you can see here, the resources will be under development for about 3 years. They're a single-time purchase. The purchase, when it happens, allows you to get all of the updates within that 3-year period and own that content in perpetuity. So you can choose a specific topic, make a purchase about that specific topic, and get all of the articles on that topic for your researchers. Let me turn now to our beloved Oxford Scholarship online product. Oxford undertook a project to digitize important books from 1990 to 2009 that were previously unavailable digitally for libraries. This brought an additional 7,500 titles or so to Oxford Academic, and it includes Pulitzer Prize-winning books, scholarly and popular trade titles, and other titles widely used in courses. We finally finished the back-end work we needed to do to make these titles available for purchase individually and not just as collections, and available via EBA. For those of you who are looking to save space through weeding, EBA can provide a mechanism to identify titles with lasting value and acquire the digital copies after 12 months of access. This will give you unlimited access on Oxford Academic for your patrons to all of the titles during an EBA, but unlimited access for your patrons after reconciliation in perpetuity. Then your patrons can use them on campus, in the library, or researching from the comfort of their home. To illustrate the richness of some of the backlist content included in the archive, I've included a few examples. So first you can see here Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey, new essays. These essays were commissioned from a wide variety of scholars. They examine various readings of this film, its historical context, and its status as a quintessential science fiction genre piece. Next, The End of Lawyers, Rethinking the Nature of Legal Services. It was published in 2009, and this book laid down fundamental challenges for the legal sector, including practicing lawyers, courts, and legal scholars. It provided clear analysis of the effect of advances in information technology upon legal services as they were happening. And the last one I'll mention, and you can read more about the rest at another time, Autism and Asperger's Syndrome, published in 2008. Simon Baron-Cohen summarizes the then current understanding of autism and Asperger's syndrome, diagnoses, education, and intervention. So that's just a sample, and there are more quality titles than that to be found in the Oxford Scholarship Online archive collection. All right, let me switch to some content highlights. I'm happy to share that we have done some back-end work on our publishing platforms in order to better deliver our digital copies of our books on the Oxford Academic platform at the same time that print becomes available. We are now able to publish books every single day on Oxford Academic and deliver our metadata to our metadata partners immediately, presenting you with a better experience to find our materials and buy on the platform you prefer, whether that's ours in digital format on Oxford Academic, through an aggregator you prefer, or in print. I'm just going to pause here for a minute so that you can see a few of the titles that have recently published on Oxford Scholarship Online and the reviews that they've received in leading publications that are reviewing the books and talking about how valuable they are to the collection. Oxford University Press publishes well-regarded, well-trusted scholarship across a variety of subjects, and these are just 4 examples. And we are very proud to say that the Combi title, written by Etta Fields Black, apologies for that delay, won the Pulitzer Prize for History this year. And you can see a long description here. This is in a long line of awards that our books win and that can be found in Oxford Scholarship Online. Shifting gears, I'm going to talk a little bit about open access at OUP and some new initiatives we have there. So we have long been active in the open access space for the last 20 years. We published our first open access journal article in 2004, and then Nucleic Acids Research became our first fully open access journal the next year. In 2012, the OA option was introduced across OUP journals. Our first read and publish agreement was signed in 2016, and we now publish over 2,800 OA articles a month and have over 140 fully open access journals. We also started publishing OA books in 2014 and have since published over 450 OA books. I'll talk more about it in a minute, but we also began our Max Planck Encyclopedia of Public International Law Subscribe to Open initiative in 2024, which allowed us to open up open access this spring. And finally, on this slide, I'll say that we currently have, in the journals world, over 70 read and publish agreements that enable open access publishing for over 1,500 institutions globally. And we look forward to having conversations with you about all of these initiatives. So I mentioned Max Planck before, and I'm going to speak to that just a little bit more. So this encyclopedia is a leading resource for the field of public international law. It's a comprehensive analytical resource containing peer-reviewed articles on every aspect of international law. International law provides a common legal framework for the whole world. By converting the encyclopedias to a subscribe to open model, we've made it possible for students, scholars, practitioners, and governments in low and middle income countries and states to access this content freely without financial barriers. Usage of this resource has more than tripled globally. Every UN member state has accessed it, and usage in less developed territories has increased by 500%. The subscribe to open model allows us to achieve a wide dissemination of our content sustainably through continued customer subscriptions. This aligns with our mission to further excellence in research, scholarship, and education by publishing worldwide. For those of you who do subscribe to the Max Planck Encyclopedia of Public International Law, thank you very much for your support. We hope you continue this support so that we can meet our threshold to continue this open access approach in 2026. All right, switching gears to AI, artificial intelligence at OUP. We have 3 different AI tools which are freely available to subscribers, and each is designed to improve a researcher's ability to find information while protecting privacy and ensuring the content is accurate. The Oxford Academic AI Discovery Assistant helps with searching by allowing for more conversational queries than keyword searches, helping users find what they need more quickly. It spell checks and understands how terms change over time so that you can search climate change and find results from older works when it was called global warming. The Oxford Law Pro AI Research Assistant enables conversational queries, creating summaries based on the OUP content to which you subscribe in Oxford Law Pro. Each summary has links to the source content, as well as an index showing which sources were most used for the summary. You cannot upload information into the tool, and it does not remember sessions in order to protect user privacy. And finally, the Oxford English Dictionary AI Search Assistant helps users quickly navigate the OED. The OED is an amazing tool for understanding historical usage of the English language, but researchers typically need to take several steps in order to search for specific information. The Search Assistant changes a 5-step process to understand the origin of a word into a simple conversational question and answer. And in case it's not obvious from this overview, each of these search assistants is in a separate universe on the Oxford Academic world. So there's Oxford Academic, which has one AI assistant, and that's where our books and journals live. Oxford Law Pro is a subset, which is where our law content lives. And Oxford English Dictionary stands alone, and that content is searched only that content is searched by the AI assistant, which means that when you use the AI assistant, the universe of material that is searched is contained and vetted and trusted. All right, we're coming to the end. So if you want to discover the full range of OUP's products, take a look at this QR code and you will find a website that is essentially our new product catalog, which gives you a way to navigate to resources that you think might be useful, help you discover things you might not have known before, and learn how those products might be useful in your library. So you can filter a list of products by type, you can find detailed information, and information to get you additional customer support. So finally, I want to just say thank you for your time today. We will see you on Saturday at Hawaii Pacific University. Bring us your questions, your feedback, and concerns. We're really looking forward to meeting you and talking with you and hearing more about your library and what you are looking for from Oxford University Press. Thank you very much.